The Bible tells us to write the vision and make it plain in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. But what does that really mean? You know, I find that a lot of people here in today's time, they have a lot of visions, they have a lot of goals, they have a lot of things that they want to achieve in their life, but it's not very plain. It's not very outlined to them of what that looks like, but yet they can see themselves doing these things. And maybe that's you watching this video. Maybe you have seen yourself or envisioned yourself having things or doing things or living out a specific purpose in your life, but yet you just don't find yourself doing them. And you get frustrated because you're not living the life that you envision for yourself or have seen for yourself. And so in this video, I want to help you answer the question, how do I make my vision plain? And I want to help you understand what that means about making the vision plain. So in order for us to start doing that, we need to first start off to answer the question, what is the vision? You need to know what your vision is. You can't write anything down if you don't know what it is that you envision. So what is the vision for your life? What do you envision? What have you seen? What have you dreamed about? What are the things that have been in your heart that you've just seen? I can tell you about a time for me. I remember growing up when I was younger, I've always had the vision of owning my own business one day. I knew that at some point I just want to own my own business. I want to make my own decisions. I want to make the decisions because I feel like the decisions that I can make would be right, would be fair, would be accurate, would be caring. And so I just knew I wanted to own my own. I didn't want to work for anybody. I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to work for me. But it wasn't plain. It was a vision. I did see myself doing this, but I couldn't see it clearly because it wasn't plain and it wasn't written. And what does it mean by making the vision plain? What does that mean? Well, I didn't know what kind of business I wanted to own. I didn't know when I wanted to do it. I didn't know how I was going to do it or how to start a business in general. I didn't know any of these answers. And so that's what that means about making your vision plain. First off, if God is telling us to write it down, that means there's power in writing. It means there's power in seeing the things that you want to do or seeing the life that you want to live. There's power in seeing it written down, plain and clear. There's also power in making it plain, because what that means is the things that you could see in your life are probably detailed. They're probably complicated. You know, I knew at a young age that I wanted to own my own business, but I didn't know what that all entailed. I didn't know anything about taxes, setting up an LLC, opening a business bank account, XYZ, ABC. I mean, a lot of the things that you want to do, especially if they are visions that seem impossible, right, are probably very detailed. Probably a lot of steps, probably a lot of things that you got to do to get to them in your life as far as the goals. But this is where we make them plain, right? And so that's what we're talking about here. How do we make it plain? Well, first, we got to know what the vision is, and we got to write it. We got to write the vision out. Okay. Let's say we use the vision that a lot of people have, and I've seen a lot of people in my space have, of being financially free. And if you're someone watching this video, I'm not saying we got to do every vision because we have multiple visions. No one just has like one. Unless you got one, that's cool. But most of us, we have multiple visions. Let's say your vision is becoming financially free, and you want to be free and not enslaved or not having a lack of money, right? You need to break down what that means. What does financially free mean? You are free financially of the need for money, meaning that you have enough money to live your life and do what it is that you want to do with it. There are people who are financially free, money-wise, with money. They are financially free. They could do whatever it is that they want to do with their money, but they got very detailed with it because they made it plain. The details are the steps that you take, but the vision itself becomes plain. And that's what we're going to get to here. So we know what the vision is, financially free, becoming free from the lack of money, meaning you have abundance or enough money to live the life you want to live. Now we know that, right? Let's make that plain. Okay? Let's make that plain. What kind of life do you want to live to be free of? Right? What kind of life do you want to live that requires money? First, you need to figure out first what in your life requires money. Food requires money. Living requires money as far as a roof over your head. Transportation requires money. Vacations require money. There are a lot of things in life that require money. Most things in life require money, right? But you want to live a particular type of life in the vision that you've envisioned for yourself. Okay, let's break that down. Let's choose one. Let's choose food. Let's say with food, you want to be able to have enough money to where you could be free from the lack of not having enough money to eat the food that you want to eat in your life for the rest of your life. You want to be free to where you can know every single day that you wake up for the rest of your life, you could eat whatever you want to eat. Let's make that plain. That's attainable. That is attainable. I want you to know that is attainable. You don't have to feel as though it's not attainable for you to eat whatever you want to eat for the rest of your life. That is attainable. People are doing this here in the world. Do not think small and do not limit yourself from thinking as you're saying these things that it's impossible. Because God has made the impossible possible. There are people doing exactly what you want. And there are impossible things that we have the privilege to enjoy here now that were impossible before. Whoever thought that I could move from A to B without walking? They call it a car. I can move from here to here without moving my legs. They call it a car. Whoever thought that you could move humans thousands of miles per hour so fast without walking and running that they eventually elevate in the air and fly? Whoever thought they could do that? And whoever thought that humans could move that fast sitting down? Whoever thought? Someone thought. Man thought. God breathed that thought. Man had that vision. He envisioned a path for us to be able to do that. And God guided his steps, which are the details, because he made it plain. Okay, I want to be able to move a human in the air. Let's make that plain. Let's develop the steps. Let's be disciplined to the steps. Let's do the things that will lead us to what we envision. So let's go back to the food. You want to be able to eat whatever you want to eat for the rest of your life, and you want to have enough money to do that the rest of your life. Okay, let's break that down. What kind of food do you want to eat for the rest of your life? Well, Jimmie, I want to eat healthy food. What does that look like? What kind of healthy food? We talking salads the rest of your life? What are we talking about? Well, I want to eat better chicken. How much does better chicken cost? How much does better turkey cost? Right? I'm tired of eating the $4 chicken. Okay, well, what kind of chicken do you want? I want to eat the $13 chicken. Okay, cool. Write that down. I want to eat healthier chicken. I want to eat healthier beef. Let's just say, for example, in this example, you want to be able to go out and eat for dinner for the rest of your life and never have to cook dinner the rest of your life. Well, how much do you want to spend? What kind of dinner? Do you want to just be able to eat McDonald's or fast food, $5 dinners the rest of your life? That's possible. You got people out there in the world, they could literally spend $5 for the rest of their life and have fast food for the rest of their life for dinner. They can live it out. If that's a vision, that's a goal, it's attainable. I want you to see that it's attainable when you write it and make it plain. Let's just say that's what you want to do. You write that out. Let's say you want to, I truly believe, Jimmie, in my heart that I could spend $50. If I could spend $50 a day for dinner every night, I could find a good restaurant of where I want to go, and it would be good for me to be able to do that and enjoy. So you see how we're beginning to make the vision plain by going in depth, really defining things. And that's really what that means, is that you're defining what that vision looks like. You're drawing the rest of that picture. Because a lot of times when you get that picture, it's a vision, but it may be a little bit unclear. So let's unpack the picture that you feel. And I also want you to know that it's okay that the vision that you have or the dream that you have, it's okay for you to dream it if it's good and if it aligns with the will of God. It's okay to envision yourself or have the vision that you've had of reaching millions of people or thousands of people or having millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. That's okay, because God didn't create us to think small. He didn't create us to think small. He created us as a light. And no matter how small that light appears in the darkness, that light is huge. If you surround yourself in complete darkness and you turn on the light in your cell phone, that light can be seen everywhere in that darkness. That light has now become huge, no matter how small that light is or how small that light is perceived. It's only small if you think it's small, but that light is actually huge, meaning that the potential that God wants you to reach and the well done, my good and faithful servant that he wants to say to you in using you has no limits. There are no limits to what God wants to do for you in your life, because he wants to use your life until the end of your life. And only God knows the number of days of your life. But when you write it down about the vision that he's given you to do, or the vision that you have envisioned for your life, it's for a purpose. I hope, don't take that, what I'm talking about here as far as the vision, to mean illegal activity. I hope you're not writing down illegal activity to plot details and make those things plain, because that would be sin. I'm not encouraging you for sin, but what I am encouraging you is, and I'm trying to empower you so that you can understand of what you feel, and then what you feel being okay to feel, and aligning what you feel with the purpose that God has for you to achieve his glory. Everything that we do is for the glory of God, even if it is making more money and having $1 million or not having to worry about food for the rest of your life. Jesus traveled from town to town. Jesus ate. He had somewhere he slept, and God took care of him. But Jesus knew that his mission, that he needed to accomplish his mission. And his mission was sharing the gospel and establishing his kingdom on earth. And that's exactly what he did. And God made provisions for him. I'm going to tell you this right now. God is bigger than what you can perceive. God is bigger than what you can perceive. Because a lot of times when it comes down to our visions, we can't see farther than the limitations that we place on ourselves to see. We place limitations on ourselves to see as far as we can. And we stop ourselves. This is where the statements such as, if I only had $1 million. Well, what if you switch that, instead of thinking if you only had, what if you switch that and said, what, as far as what you could have? If I could have $1 billion. Who says that's wrong? Who says that's wrong? It's all about how you perceive it. It's all about how you think about it. It's all about how you think about the vision or the goals for your life. So I want to encourage you here. Write the vision down, make it plain. Once it's plain, once you will then see that it's attainable. You will then see that it's sustainable. God is a sustainer. If he led you to it, he will see you through it, and he will protect you and guide you all the way so that you may maintain it. And if you should fall, let's say you want to eat dinner every night, it costs $50 a night. You make it plain. What's $50 times 365 days a year? You figure what that number out is. Now you know how much money you need to be able to eat dinner every night at a 5-star restaurant or wherever you want to spend that $50 and eat whatever you want to eat, you know how much it costs. God will lead you to it to be able to attain it. God will see you through it to do it. And then God will protect you and guide you to keep it. And should you fall below, or let's say inflation comes up and the price of food goes up, then God will give you a new goal and you can achieve the new goal. But I pray and I encourage you to align yourself with the will of God. 1, 2, do not feel bad of thinking that the things that you desire in your heart or the visions that you've envisioned for your life and yourself are wrong, because they're not. They're not wrong. God gave you and planted that in you for a reason. You feel like a millionaire for a reason. You feel like a millionaire for a reason, and it may not have anything to do with anybody else, but it has everything to do about the quality of life that you want to live. Because in your heart, you know, maybe having, as far as your way of thinking, having this much money could change my life. Let's do it. Let's attain it. Let's put an exact number down. No more guessing about $1 million, because maybe $1 million is not enough for the life that you want to live. Maybe it's not enough. You might think it's enough, but when you actually write it all down on paper about what you want to do and how you want to live your life, it might not be $1 million. $1 million is quite a long ways, but you got to do it over and over and over again to the end of your life. And the reason why we give up on it is because a lot of people have adopted the mentality of you only live once and life is short. If you always lived in a life is short mentality, then you won't live. The whole purpose of it is for you to begin living, but then you begin living recklessly without wisdom, because you stop chasing your goals, because some goals take time, and you start living recklessly by trying to fast forward the process and make the process faster than what is going to go. You're not going to make a horse run any faster than the capabilities that a horse can run unless you train the horse, unless you take time and spend time with that horse. That horse ain't going to run no faster than what is capable of running at that current time. It's just not going to do that. And so this is something that you have to understand and realize about your own life. Because if you adopt the life is short, then everything in your life is going to be short. This is where if I only had $1 million, or maybe I'll drive a Lamborghini at least once. What about if you drove a Lamborghini at most 1,000 times? If I only could own at least one exotic car? What if you owned at most in your life, or set a goal for at most 50? Who said it had to be one? No one said it had to be one, but you. You are the only one that said it had to be one. And that's a mentality. Write the vision, make it plain. Number 2, have discipline and patience with your vision. Once you set it and it's plain and you start acting on it, you need patience, because not everybody's going to win the lottery tomorrow to change their lives. It's not going to work like that. You need patient endurance is what you need. This is what the Bible talks about. Patient endurance is what you need as you walk in your life. You need patient endurance to continue to do the steps that you have outlined to get the money that you need to be financially free. And you need discipline. Stick to a budget. Write a budget, make it out, stick to it, do not deviate from it. I'm not saying don't live life, but if you want to live life and you want to do this, then you need to budget it. If it takes you 6 months just to take a $100 plane ticket to go to New York, then it takes you 6 months. It just does. If you want to rush it, then make more money. You make more money, you sacrifice more time with your family. You sacrifice more time with your family, be okay. You choose to be okay for missing 6 months of let's say the growth of your daughter or son or whatever the case is. These are your choices. Make the choices. Make wise choices, because it's 6 months of your life. Oh, well, life is short. Okay, if you died tomorrow, at least you died knowing that you were walking to achieve your dreams, your goals, and the vision that you saw yourself living, rather than wallow and spent all of your money and just wasted your life not chasing anything. You decide. Write the vision, make it plain, establish patience and discipline as you enact the vision, and make the vision a reality. God made visions realities here on this earth because God called us to be creators. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That means there was nothing in the beginning. It became a reality. God created the land and the sea and the waters, and he split the land from the waters, which sounds impossible because it is impossible for us, but nothing is impossible for God, and it is now a reality. We are now separated from space and all of the different layers of the atmosphere where we would all die if we were surrounded in it, but it's possible. God made it possible. Make your dreams a reality. I appreciate you for tuning in. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos like these. Make sure to like the video if you found value out of this video, and leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts about the video. Are you making your visions a reality? And are you writing your visions down and making them plain? I pray nothing but blessings and peace over your life as you continue to walk with me on this Christian journey. I'll talk to you next time.